happens. Who joined CrossFit with no real aggressive athletic background? Anybody in here? Great, thanks for the honesty. So, no real athletic background, but you came in, and what attracted you to CrossFit?
The group atmosphere. When I lifted in college, it was like me and two friends. So we kept each other motivated to keep coming. And then when I graduated and lost that, it was a lot harder to get to the gym, a lot harder to train. So then I just had heard about CrossFit, looked it up, and decided to try it.
Right.
So that was what key was the group atmosphere.
Group atmosphere. So one of the things that you were excited about in college, just so I could get some hot points, was that you had people to work out with. Right? When you left, you kind of lost that drive, so you really didn't, you were held accountable for yourself, right? So you're not pre-programmed as a self-motivated athlete. There's two types of motivated athletes. One is self-motivated, and the other is team-motivated, right? And then there's the positive and negative drive, which we get into later. So what's your name?
Dan.
Dan? All right, so Dan found that in college, when he was working out by being team or group motivated, being held accountable by others, it kept you going, and it created a level of accountability and community and excitement that you wanted to show up and work out, right? And if you said you were going to be there at 6 o'clock and you weren't there at 6, you weren't just letting down your own personal situation, but you were letting them down as well, because they relied on your energy and that kind of stuff, right? So that continues to feed into the team. Who else said they didn't have much of that? Right.
Yeah. Why did I do it? Is to change my body.
Right. So you were a fat kid that wanted to get less fat kid. Yeah. And what motivated you in CrossFit?
So what particularly drove me to CrossFit is I had been on kind of a traditional workout regimen where I was lifting in the morning and doing cardio in the afternoon. And I was a runner. I tried 40 minutes each. I need something that makes me like this running.
Cool. And did you enjoy the communal aspect, the atmosphere, the team style workout?
Yeah, it was cool. It was because it was hard. It was intense and hard. That's kind of what
kept you in it. Cool. Would you define yourself as a self-motivated or a team-motivated athlete?
I think I dabble on both sides of the fence.
Okay, so you can go either way. Right.
I like when I train, primarily I train by myself, but I enjoy working with others.
Okay. Yeah, so just by show of hands, who in here feels as if they're a self-motivated athlete, like they prefer to be in an individual sport? They want to be accountable for themselves, they don't like being in a team or group setting. Okay. Who in here finds themselves as a team athlete? Or on the fence? First and foremost, like if you had a choice. Like here's the thing, like if you had the choice to be the best assistant, if you could be the best Scottie Pippen or Dennis Rodman, would you rather be that, or would you rather have been the best Shaq or the best scorer? Would you like to go down in history as like the best guy who provided the most assistance to win the game, or the guy who actually scored the goals? And it's like, how do you find who's more important, the type of glory you enjoy? Hey, you can be honest. Okay, so that's good. Good. So you make for a good teammate then, because you can play either way. We needed you on an individual point where you had to perform for the team, for yourself, which type of team you could do it, and provide for the team you could do it. Yeah, I'm on the fence. I love the glory of going out. I've done regionals 3 years in a row as an individual. It was always amazing. It was always an amazing experience. However, in the world of competitive fast fitness or CrossFit, there's individual glory unless you win. It's very minimal. It's very minimal. So we have to find the glory within yourself, which we'll talk about. Which is why I get into this idea of, are you team-based? Are you individual? What are you looking to do competitively in the world of CrossFit so that you can be realistic? From a team standpoint, which is what we're focusing today is going to be, it's really important that we get into these components, that when you do set up for a competition, you understand why you're bringing the guys together, why Dan's going to join my team. He knows what my expectations are of him. He understands what his expectations are of me. We've set them clearly, and we can have a real cohesive, enjoyable situation together. Because what happens is, before I get into this, there's a lot of gyms out there, a lot of CrossFit gyms have some of their biggest dramatic issues occur right before the game season starts. I'll use that term a lot, game season. For me, that's 3 to 4 weeks before the Open. That's when people start to think like who's available, who do they have at most gyms. Other gyms, and if it's the direction you guys go into as you grow, we'll start to develop this concept a year in advance. Like the team we have competing this year, we started training together. We started training together almost 2 years ago. We've been collectively together and coordinated for almost a year. So there's no surprises. We know exactly what to expect. So I want to give a few examples of individual athletes, team athletes, so you can understand this. For some of you, team competition, other than the purpose of just being fun, will never be of interest to you. And at times you'll only do it because you're asked as a favor by somebody else. But what you can do is pick up some of these touch points that we'll go over so that when you are on that team, you're not the ass on the team that nobody can stand. Because that's the poison and death of what's so fun about team competition. And then just before we go to this, let's show it to hands. Who's done a CrossFit team competition in the last 12 months? Cool. Just a quick touch. How was your experience?
Oh, it was fun. It was a good time.
Just overall, good time, no regrets, everything was...
No, I mean it was good. It was like less pressure than being by yourself, so it was kind of fun.
Right.
In that sense.
I had the fucking flu.
The fucking flu, which is worse than regular flu. All right, so you were a really good teammate. I'm sure joy to be around.
Well, I would take some ibuprofen and jump around a little bit and feel okay for the 20 minutes to do the workout, and then go lay down and do it again a few hours later.
Yeah.